Before the Industrial Revolution, many women just like sat at home and quilted and made clothes, and yeah.
I can't wait till my husband gets home to show him my new backpack. I also made quilts and other clothes for the children.
This led to protests, especially up in New York, like with Wow and other like textile mills, and just women started marching. And yeah.
Equality, women's rights, higher wages. We want equality. We want equality.
So at the beginning, women were like on a very strict schedule. They worked like 70 hours a week, but they didn't get paid anything. But literally day and night, it was just work like 12, 13 hours a day, and then just sleep. That was essentially the day in the life of a woman in pre-reform industrial revolution.
The reason us women didn't get paid as much as men is because the government assumed that we had men to take care of us, and even though we did the same job and like we're efficient at it, they thought that we were weaker and we needed help. So
Okay, sir. So here's your weekly $40.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And here's your weekly 20, man.
how come I only get 20?
You're a woman. Raheema votes. Okay. Due to like how society was before, women weren't really educated, and so they still didn't get educated. So the only thing they could really do was manual labor. But like they never learned how to weld, how to be a carpenter, how to do anything other than, yeah, like they just. Yeah.
I wish us women would have been taught to read in school. What does a catcher in the rye even mean? Like, I hate math. I think I finally got it right.
That's wrong. Whenever women were working in the factories, they often like stayed in boarding houses. It was basically owned by the factories for places for them to stay. And at the beginning, they were really clean and it was good and blah blah blah. But as time went on, they were never cleaned. It got dirty, and the prices even went up, even though their wages didn't go up to pay for it. Hey, where's my money for the boarding house?
Right here.
This is only 20. It went up. It's 40 now.
You don't pay me enough.
So one of these reforms was called the 10-hour movement, and it's where they petitioned to only have to work 10 hours a day instead of like the 12 or 13 that they were forced to. And that's kind of crazy to think about, because usually for a full-time job you only work 8 hours a day today, and they were petitioning to get 10.
I am Mary Emerson. I believe that women should fight for higher wages, 10-hour movement, and even suffrage.
And so like through the 10-hour movement, women got into more not political battles, but like they began to fight for rights more, like suffrage, as Raheema over there said. Through these reforms, like higher wages, 10-hour movement, women like Raheema over there began to fight for like more reforms like suffrage, and they even got into the anti-slavery debate. Whereas previously they didn't really have a voice in society to fight for these things. Hey, why is nobody working at my factory?
We're on strike because you don't treat us right. We're on strike because you don't treat us right.
The strikes were eventually effective, and they got what they wanted, which was like the 10-hour movement and higher wages to contrast. Like I said in the beginning, factories were clean and everything was sanitary and healthy, like even the boarding houses were. But as time went on, it just got dirty. And this resulted in just like bad working conditions, and even the women's clothes getting dirty, and then just like it just not being sanitary.
I'm dirty because the factories are dirty. It's cold and it's dirty. This is outrageous. We want rights. We want suffrage. Everybody needs rights. Free the slaves!